going on, everybody? It's Cannabis Guru, and I want to show you guys something real quick. I'm getting a lot of good info on what this deficiency could be, right? And I'm pretty positive it's a minimal, Jesus Christ, sorry you guys, minimal potassium deficiency. And okay, there we go, right there. See the yellowing right there at the tip? Okay, see right here, and it's a little bit around the edges too. Okay, and it's only the inner leaves that are doing that, and it's not many. So I think it's a light potassium deficiency. You know, I got people saying that it's been overwatered and this and that. It hasn't been overwatered, I can promise you that. Okay, they said it was overwatered because I flushed it with 25 gallons. Well, I had to, because the pH was way too high. Even after I flushed it, and then the next day I went ahead and fed it and caught the runoff and checked the ppms and the pH of the runoff, and the pH was 6.3, ppms were about 1100, maybe a little bit lower. So everything's on par except for this minor deficiency, and it's really frustrating. Never had an issue like this with any other plants, any other strains. Just these seeds from Rocket Seeds, dude. I've grown in Fox Farm soil before and never had this fucking problem. So a lot of it I really honestly think is genetics. A lot of it. Because if you go back and look at my videos of my indoor grow that I just harvested recently, you'll notice the huge difference between the two plants, and they're supposed to both be G13. Huge difference in the phenotypes. I mean, any other pack of seeds that I've gotten, okay, have all been consistent. Yes, granted, they were different phenotypes, but the genetics were consistent. So each one of the plants damn near looked alike. So, and they produced well. They were not Humboldt, exotic genetics. So, yeah, I didn't have any problems with them. I grew Bad Betty with them. I grew, I don't know, lavender and something else. And that lavender, whew, boy, that shit put off some nice nuggets. What was I saying here? But yeah, so, and I've grown a bunch of other strains too, like Gorilla Glue, fucking Jesus OG Kush, what else? Sour Glue. Instead of, I think I had a G13, maybe it was D13. Rusty Shackelford at Silver State Genetics sent me a clone. I think it was D13. It was something that he created. I lost the genetics, so I quit growing for a little while. I wish I hadn't done that, but it is what it is. Sometimes I get tired of all the work, you know, I'm disabled. So I get, whoa, see, that's why I got it tied down. So, there's times my body gets worn out, dude, and I get tired of all the stuff. I got diagnosed with AS, ankylosing spondylitis, and it's a skeletal disease. I've got reduced bone marrow density in my pelvis. Makes it hard to walk upstairs and shit like that. I have to take a shot like every other week in my stomach, and it's no fun. So I tend to get worn out pretty quick. I mean, doing this shit, I did this myself, brought the table out myself, and granted, I lifted this fucking 30-gallon pot myself, okay? And it was, I think I did it yesterday, and the day before that, I had flushed the plant, so that's how dry it was already. I could lift the pot, and I'm not that strong anymore. So, since I've been hurt, you know, I've lost a lot of strength in my upper body. Well, I've had 4 wrist surgeries, 2 on each wrist, so it's really affected my upper body strength. Because I had lost all dexterity in both my hands there for a while. Couldn't use them at all. Could barely wipe my own ass. It was pretty shitty, no pun intended. But, yeah, man, so this is what we got going on. I really think it's a potassium deficiency. I really do. What I'm going to do is up the newts, because I just fed it yesterday, 10 gallons at 5 mils per gallon. And I had enough runoff. It filled up my big tray down here. It looks smaller on the video, but it's huge. So I filled it up completely and with a little bit of overflow. So that's plenty of runoff. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go with for now, is a potassium deficiency, and I think upping my newts should help. And if that does not help, then I'm going to have to get like a straight potassium supplement to try and fix the issue. So it's pretty frustrating though, dude. I mean, I've never had, never since I started growing have I had plants like this. Have I had this kind of a fucking issue? Never. So a big part of me, like I said, thinks it's genetics. When I was inside running my last 2 plants that I had harvested recently, when they were in veg, they had a magnesium deficiency. Not so much calcium, but magnesium. And I couldn't seem to get it to snap out of them, you know, and get them to snap out of it. But once I put them in flour, boom, they snapped out of it. So it's fucking weird. I think the flour newts has more magnesium in it. I'd have to look at the package, but it helped. And I didn't have any more deficiencies throughout flour. So it makes me think that this may subside once the flowering starts and I switch up to flower newts, because I was reading that you could use a PK booster, but that's during flower, okay, to pull it out of a potassium deficiency. I wouldn't do it in veg because it could fuck shit up. But yeah, that's what I think's going on. I'm pretty positive. So I appreciate everybody's input and everybody's advice, and the constructive criticism. It's welcome here. I take everything with a grain of salt. All right. There's, like I said, there's been a lot of guesses on what this is. And there's been a few guys that have been on top of it. And and they agree with me as far as the potassium deficiency goes. So yeah. Look at how, you know, thick this bitch is. And she's nice and... she's getting more symmetrical. Before she was really uneven, but then again, I can't really see up there. I have to watch the video. But damn, it's windy today, bro. I'm glad I got that shit on there. See, now you guys know why I've got it tied off. It's ridiculous. This plant's so top heavy that I'm afraid it would uproot the plant with how strong the wind is. So that would really suck ass. Granted, there's a lot of roots in here, okay, but I don't think it's anywhere enough to prevent it from getting uprooted with strong enough wind. I did have somebody on write a comment or make a comment that my plant was root bound. There's no way. Okay, it's a 30-gallon pot. This plant is maybe like four and a half feet tall. Okay. I'm gonna say like 4 feet tall, something like that. So yeah, she's not root bound. I've had little plants in like 2x2 square pots, clones, and they've been so rooted out, like gorgeous root balls, and they weren't root bound at all. So you can have a lot of roots in these pots before they get root bound. So yeah, I'm not worried about that at all. I've had bigger plants than this in similar sized pots. It was a plastic pot, and the plant was, I don't know, 9-10 feet tall, somewhere in that range. Don't quote me, but it was fucking tall. Okay, it was Jesus OG Kush, and that strain really grows fast and it grows well. That plant didn't put off a whole lot though, because I wasn't in full sun at least 6 hours a day. There was just too much shade where I was growing it. I was on my back porch, a place I used to live way back when. So yeah, But anyways, that's pretty much what I got, you guys. Pretty much what I think is going on here. Okay, the tacoing sucks, but as you can see right there, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? That's nothing. That's nothing. So yeah, man, it's definitely, I'm pretty positive it's potassium. You can see the yellowing around the edges, okay, and you can see the yellowing, where is it at the tips, and a little bit of browning. If you go online and look at one of the charts, you'll see that this is showing me that it's potassium. So it sucks. It's being stubborn, but I'm hoping I can correct it. You know, I do believe that this newt lockout that I had, because the pH was too high, so my pH has come down a lot, but I think it may have stunted the growth a little bit. I feel like this plant should be taller, but it's just, I don't know, maybe not. I don't know, dude. It's just really fucking bulky. You know, I'm not bitching, you know, I'm not complaining. It's gonna put off some nice fucking nuggets. Yeah, look at the size of these stalks, dude, these branches. They're thick as fuck, dude. I mean, look at these, bro. They're nice and thick. So, we should get some good sized nuggets. Even the stalk, I mean, look at that, dude. Nice and thick. It's like I said, it's a big boy. She's just not as tall as I had expected. So, I don't think she's gonna get super duper tall. When it starts to flower out, it may stretch a little bit more, you know what I mean? So I may get 5 feet out of this plant, but I'm not expecting much more than 5 feet tall, if that. But yeah, dude, I would be surprised if she was like 5 feet wide. Maybe not that much, but pretty close. She's probably as wide as she is tall right now, maybe a little bit wider. No, maybe a little, yeah, she might be a little bit wider than she is tall. So she's really bushed out. Somebody did make a comment that I should probably go in here and defoliate a little bit. I've been thinking about it, but honestly, I think I'm gonna leave it. Okay, you can see the yellowing on the tips right there. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it. One guy did say, guy or gal, I think it was a dude, said that he saw clawing on here. I just want to let him know that if he watches this video, there's no clawing anywhere on this plant. See, that's not clawing. It's not clawing at all. Clawing would be this, and it's not doing that. So there's no toxicity, because the clawing shows that it's toxic, if I remember correctly. So anyways, that's pretty much all I got, you guys. That's where I'm at. So if you have any comments or questions, go ahead and post them. Like the video, smash the bell, and subscribe to see the rest of my grow. This is Cannabis Guru. Till next time, peace.